The Max Nano is no more, but the 425XL's got a ton of new stock. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Here's the 425XL Red Sea Reefer. It's actually 3 months old today, so happy quarter of a birthday. Yeah, so obviously big news. Decided to break down the Red Sea Max Nano, and I know a few of you will be frustrated with that because you've watched it grow and it got to a year old. But I've realised that multiple tanks is definitely a lot of work, and with the inevitable return to sort of work post-lockdown, definitely don't see a way in which I'm able to do or give them both the care and attention that I'd really like to. So yeah, I decided sooner rather than later, now that it's had a few tester frags in this tank for a good few weeks and some of the dirty stages seem to have been dissipating, that this is the place where I just want to focus all my efforts. The chemistry is really zeroing in on this tank and I'm really enjoying it, and the other one became a bit of a hassle. So yeah, hopefully you'll all stay tuned with the 425XL. There's definitely a lot of stock in here already and some signs of growth on SPS already 3 months in, so I'm dead excited about the tank. As you can see, the fish are all quite comfortable and quite harmonious now, and there's still a few bits of dirty stage going on, but I'll show you them in a second. So overall parameters, just test them all. We're aiming for 9 on DKH. We're currently about 8.5, so I'm slowly increasing that, and I've started dosing daily now. Magnesium's around 1250, just trying to raise that up a slight bit as well, and calcium's at 420, which is perfect. Nitrates are about 20, so they've gone up a little bit. But at one point I was having to dose a bit of nitrate, so I'll take that, and obviously the corals look quite good because of it, so probably do a couple of water changes just to knock that down, because I'd like to sort of stick around 5 to 10. Phosphate's right the way back down at 0.01, which is a little lower than I wanted, but I've done a series of water changes before previously and got some raw phos in there, which I'll show you in a second, so that's working really well in the reactor. So phosphates come down, and yeah, the tank's sort of showed a bit of stability in the last few weeks. So what I did is I basically fragged up and cut up all of the corals from the Max Nano and put most of them in here, barring the zoas, because there was a few little bits of bubble algae on the rock and I didn't want to risk it. So they were donated, along with a couple of the fish that wouldn't be able to come into this tank due to that one big old wrasse sitting, where is he? Right about here. He does not like any other wrasse, so we've kind of just left him in there on his own with them. So they were donated to my local fish shop so that they can sell them onto another reefer. They can make a bit of money and the fish can make someone else happy, so really happy about that. And whilst, just before I show you the livestock and the corals, I also got an order from Prestige Reef. So Ryan marching over at Prestige Reef sorted me out a few corals, and they've all come good as well. So there's loads of stuff to look in. When it hits the blues later in the schedule, some of the LPS corals in here really pop, so it's starting to look really nice, but I do want to jam pack it full of loads of more corals. So the current plan is, once this tank starts to be completely stable and we see a bit of coralline growth, I'll then probably add a load of more acros or higher end stuff along the top. So at the moment I'm trying to build all around the middle and lower parts with some of these frags, and then bigger colonies will go on top to grow out. That's the plan. So I'm sure I'll chop and change, but let's start left to right. So we'll come around the side here. So as you can see from the back there, we've got a clear swim through all the way around this tank, and there is enough space, even though it doesn't really look it here, to get all the cleaning equipment round. I wanted this because eventually the corals are all going to grow out and these fish will get reasonably big, so I want them to be able to swim around the rock like they would on a reef and not just be sort of stuck at the front or jammed out from the swim space. So this passage back here, as you can see just while I'm filming, they all use it a lot and it's a swim through, so that's working really good. So start with all the frags. So this was one that I cut from this colony, believe it or not, or from the other colony there, of Stylophora. Here's the bigger Stylophora, one of them from the Max Nano, that's been in here, what, a day now, and it's fluffing up and looking really, really good. We've got some Montipora stellata, I think it is. And again, if I've murdered any of these names, please do come on and tell me about it, because I haven't looked back over the videos to remember what they all are, and whilst I love corals and fish, I can't remember all the damn Latin names or the funky electric pink supersonic zombie names as well, so just help me out with that. Here is some Montipora plate that I put in originally, 2 little frags of it. just as tested corals. That's actually starting to leach on off the plug and onto the rock, so you can just see that growth. That's a really good sign for me, because that's actual growth, and that's only been in here a couple of weeks. So yeah, really good sign. That's the mother colony of that. So this is the bigger part of it, which kind of broke off into a bit of a funky shape, but seems all right. And that's, again, fluffing up well. Here's the red plate that I got here. Now that's bleached a little bit in the middle, so that's not ideal, but the rest of it looks really fluffy. So I'm hoping that was just maybe me handling it, and we'll see. We've got some Montipora here, which came from Prestige Reef. That took a bit to settle in, but it's just starting to colour up. So it's kind of green, but I think it's got a purple tinge to it as well. So I'll just pop this filter off so you can see how blue the tank is without it. But you can see the colour's probably a little bit better like that. So that's that one. Just keep this on for the minute and then take it off as we go. Down here is some, and this is a Prestige Reef name, some Chernobyl Montipora. So that is absolutely unreal without the filter on. If we just have a look at that, can't really tell as much, but that is real deep green. This is one of the other frags. I think it's some type of Monty from the Max Nano. Here is some more Monty. I think it's a branching type anyway. So it's either stellata or it's my watch going off in the background. But that's grown on really nice, and that's another version of it as well. I think it's stellata, but again, please do let me know. So here's another piece of that. They grow really quickly and they're looking really nice already. So I'm just waiting for them to base over this this cement that I've put in with them, and they should grow nice and big. And if you look at them in the bigger picture, they should have a nice couple of colonies there, along with this stylo in the middle. So I'm hoping to get a nice bunch at the front there. This is a Prestige Reef one, a bit of Lionberry Hystrix. That's starting to colour up. Again, to show you about the filter, you can probably get a bit more of the green in it. There we go. That one's looking cool. Here we have Jack-o'-lantern Lepto. So Lepto Cereus. Now this wasn't happy when it first went in, and Ryan assured me that they are quite stroppy, but it's just started to colour up now. You can just see the greens and the oranges, and when that colours up properly, it starts basing out over this plate rock here. That is going to look cool. So I really love that. It's brilliant colours, especially in the deep blues at night. Here's the candy cane, the one that started as one head and it's now got tons. That's come over nicely and looks great under blues. And along it was another piece of this Monty here that I can't remember what the name is. There they go. That's what they look like without that, but I think the lens looks better. Forest Fire Digi, that really didn't colour up very well in the Max Nano, so the red started to kind of disappear. And it's quite hard to see it now, but it's just started to come back. So hopefully that'll go good. We've got some pink Hystrix here. That's starting to colour up. My dog is running around like a loony in the background, so apologies if you hear a growl. It's not one of the fish. And then here we are, the Duncan. This started as, I think it was 2 heads or maybe just 1 back in the Max Nano as a tiny thing. Now this, when it's shrunk in, you can tell there's probably about 20 heads on it at least. There's absolutely tons on it. Beautiful piece. It looks really nice just flowing there in the corner. So whilst we've got the Monty plates all down this end, here we've kind of got a bit of Euphilia. So I might stick a bit more in down this side, so that when you're sitting at the dining table here, you get a completely different view of a tank. So yeah, so here it is. So you've got, this is the view from the tank. So it's kind of like having another tank. I really enjoy this part of having this tank where it's situated. So there, that's from the Max Nano as well. And then there's the styler for Frags from the other tank there. So that's all the corals. They've all gone in and all look quite nice. Quite happy with them all. And now we'll do a quick, sorry about the camera action, it's easier walking around with it than sticking it on a tripod when you're doing these types of reviews. So what I'll do now is I will open up the bottom, just have another quick look at the sump area. Changes here we've got, let's take the lens off. So down in the engine room on the right hand side, you'll see now that we've got the doser installed here. That's the Kamoa 4 channel. Once again, there's the big tub with the Tunzi auto top up in. 3 rows of sockets. Again, I showed you before, some of them were Wi-Fi sockets, controllers, temperature, and controllers up the back there. And then that goes down into here, which we've got all for Reef in the end here, which is this stuff. That doses everything including trace elements, and that's worked quite well for me so far. So it's not the cheapest, so when the uptake starts getting a lot more, that may have to be reviewed. But for now, you know, it's working well and it's easy and it's one dosing head, so I'll take it. In the second one there, I did set up, you'll see there, Neo Nitro, because I was really struggling with nitrates and I thought I might have to start dosing them. But that's actually stopped being the case of late, so I've kind of left that in there and I can go back to that if for some reason the corals start uptaking it a lot. So here the doser actually working, that was the doser going. We'll set that up. We're currently dosing about 15 mils a day of all for Reef. I need to probably increase that a bit more. Coming to the end of the roll on the Clarity, so that's 3 months. Obviously it wasn't a full 3 months of dirty fish tank because we cycled the tank in that, but I'm hoping that if I could get 2 months out of a normal roll, I'd be more than happy with that. So soon, I'll do a video on changing the roll on that because there's a bit of a knack to it using a stapler and whatnot. I've also just bought a VCA sump sort of attachment for the Maxi Jet to clean the bottom of this sump out. You can see there's quite a bit of detritus in there now. It's probably not helping with the nitrate actually, but you'll see there's quite a bit. I just wanted to leave it alone until the tank was really established, but I'm going to get a vac and vac all this out now. So yeah, so there's the rower FOSS in this one. This has been a really good reactor. It's worked very, very well, and it's quite a small form factor. So that's the Aquamedic one, definitely like that. And I saved the other one for the carbon, which I'll put in once a month for a few days. UV working fine, that's just a bit dirty, but needs a bit of a clean, but hey ho, it's a Sump, who cares. You see the skimmer is really working a lot better now. A lot darker liquid, now we've got a bit of nitrate in the system, so it's starting to really come into its own. I was struggling to get that to operate before and to start pulling stuff out, but it's starting to bed in now. Again, that's been a bit of a labour of love. It's a great skimmer, it's probably a bit oversized, and I probably could have gone with the 120 and had it on a lot harder, sort of drier skim. But hey, it's working well, and if the fish load goes up at any point, we can turn it up and pull more out. So I'd rather have bigger, and you never know, if I end up with a huge bigger tank at some point, maybe not, then that could come with me. And then trusty old Vectra's been working absolutely fine in the back chamber. Definitely needs a vac out in there. I've also pulled out the at one point I had some filter floss in there, but it became a bit of a nitrate factory as well, so I've kind of left that. So you can see it's a reasonably fast flow through the pump, through the sump. That's something that I might slow down if I need to, but it seems to be alright, and the rower FOSS is obviously working, so yeah, I think we've got it pretty much nailed on. So there's the big update. Sorry to all you guys who were enjoying following the Max Nano. Hope that I can put more effort into this tank and make this tank 4 times as good as the Max Nano, and hopefully grow this out now over the next few years, and it will look amazing. I can see a wall-to-wall of beautiful corals and big colonies. That's what I want to go for. So really glad you're joining me on that. If you've got any questions, or if I've butchered any of the names of anything, please do comment below, like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you soon on the next video. Take care.